What's going on, good people? It's your girl, Miss Kecia, with a little chat and chew for you. So, guess what, people? We're almost there. We're almost to the end of the year. Isn't that amazing? That's like mind blowing that we have survived COVID and all her cousins, and we're back here. When I think about, dude, the last 2 years, like, bro, if it doesn't humble you, like, bro, you need to check yourself for real, for real. So, yes. So, we're here. Just to let you know, this is going to be our last episode of Chat and Chew for 2022. And then we're coming back with some amazing episodes next year. We're going to step it up. We're going to bring in the council. Like, bro, I got some dynamic people lined up. It's going to be so amazing. So you need to make sure, if you're not following, that you start following my YouTube page and my Facebook pages. And you need to make sure you put that notification on so you know when something new is added. Because we're taking this to the top, all right? So let's talk about, as the year is coming to a close, right? And I know, let me back up a minute. I hope everybody had an amazing Thanksgiving. I totally did. Let me tell you, when I ate, I ate so much. Like, it's ridiculous. But shout out to the Shoefoots for taking me in. It's my family. And we had a great time. So back to what we was talking about. So now, as we are preparing to come up to the year end and the holidays are amongst us, I want to talk about money management. I want to talk about savings, and these are the things that we should be thinking about, going into a new year, a fresh start. Also, with the holidays, you don't want to put the horse before the cart. No, the cart before the horse. You know what I mean. You don't want to be out here putting yourself in debt when you don't have to. And I guarantee you don't have to. They say we're in a recession, depends on your situation. But nonetheless, I think that strategically, we need to think about how we're going to better manage our money so we can build wealth. Remember, wealth is a mindset. That's what it is. It's a mindset, okay? So you have to change your mind about the way you think about money in order for your relationship with money to change. Let me say that again. You have to change your mindset on how you think about money in order for your relationship with money to change, okay? It's all cool to put on a facade and make it look like it's something that is not. But really, that's a lot of damn work trying to catfish people. Just do it, build the wealth, change your mindset, get into a good relationship with money, right? Savings. I know towards the end of the year, I know I do it. I post all these different savings plans that I've used and I continue to use. Use those. Start small. When it comes to your budget, if you have a lot of credit card debt, start small. Use the snowball theory to get some of that credit card debt. Credit cards is not fake money, because you got to get them people real money at some point, okay? And you need to be strategic about your payments so that it doesn't damage your credit. Okay, so I'm not going to get on the soapbox about that, but I'm just saying, don't be out here putting the cart before the horse, okay? And just be wise when you spend it for the holidays, Just be wise, Sometimes a hug and a kiss is the best gift that you can give. Give the gift of love, okay? Give the gift of love. All right. Yeah. So just think about money management and how you want your relationship with money to be in 2022 in 2023 versus how it was in 2022. So if it was not so good in 2022, you make it better for 2023. If it was great in 2022, then you make it magnificent for 2023. You feel me? Like step it up a notch. That's how you create success. Small little successes. Okay? Listen, Rome wasn't built in a day. Take your time. Just have some goals. You'll get there. All right, so today's episode is going to be 2022 after action review. Yes, I took an acronym, a phrase, way of life, something that we used when I was in the military. And I am sure that they still do this because it works. All it really is taking inventory, taking a self-evaluation. That's it. That's all it is. And if you're not taking a self-evaluation, then you're not trying to grow and be better. All right? Yeah, you're not trying to grow and be better. You got to recognize where you need improvement in order to improve. It's like the whole saying, the first step is admitting you have a problem. So you have to acknowledge that you need improvement in this area and then decide how you're going to improve on it. Okay? So before we get started, let me do my disclaimer. All the thoughts and opinions that are said and displayed here on my show are that of myself and any guests that I may have. My opinion is not to sway you from thinking how you think or feeling how you feel. If there is ever a disagreement and we can't, dialogue about it to come to a mutual understanding, then we just need to understand that and respectfully agree to disagree. So yeah, this is a place of vulnerability and it's okay to agree to disagree. All right. So first, let me define what an after action review is. So the acronym is AAR, right? Okay. And so what happens first, let me read this. The after action review process was developed by the military as a way for everyone to learn quickly from soldiers' experiences in the field. With this system, critical lessons and knowledge are transferred immediately to get the most benefit. That's powerful. If you think like me, that's a powerful statement. All right. So basically, what it is saying is that's what it was originally for. You're out in the field, you are, doing soldier tactics, soldier movements. And when it's all said and done with, because in the moment you're just trying to get to the end. You're trying to get to the end state without anybody being hurt, right? So when the training is over, the event is over, whatever it is, we do an after action review. We all sit down, and whoever was in charge of the training, they say, okay, this is what was supposed to happen. This did happen. This is what happened, and what could we do to make it better? See? Take an inventory of your actions. Take an inventory of yourself. That's all it is. That's all it is. Do an AAR for yourself. That's it. So I'm going to lead by example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an AAR on my 2022. And I encourage you all to do an AAR on your 2022 so you can know how you want to go about your 2023. Like, I know a lot of people do vision boards and all that. So I don't really do vision boards. I do more of a roadmap because I break mine down into quarters, months. This is what I want to accomplish this month. This is what I want to accomplish this quarter. And by the end of the year, I'll have those things either done or none done, So yeah. So It's the same concept as a vision board, but I'm very specific on when I'm saying I'm going to accomplish it. Because I just think when you don't have a map, if you don't have a map or to say where you're going, like at any point you could turn off. Like, you know what I mean? You could like, yeah, if you don't have a map, you can obviously see where you need to be going. Just like with a GPS, you can see where the GPS is telling you how to get from point A to point B. And if you veer off that route, what does it say? Recalculate, So by me producing a roadmap, a vision map of what I want to accomplish, I am trying to prevent less recalculating moments. Because there are going to be some recalculating moments, right? Because it's life, things happen. But if you start out with a plan and you work according to that plan, you can kind of, control or minimize some of those unnecessary recalculating moments. And so that is what I do. I break down my goals, some by quarter, depending on how large they are, some by months, because I know what I'm capable of if I put my mind to it. And so I challenge myself. Okay? So now that I have said all that, we're going to get started on what was supposed to happen in my 2022. So if we go back to one, I was supposed to start my podcast, and I did. Ding, 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 ding. Started my podcast in February, and it's been great since then. I freaking love doing my podcast. So my podcast was definitely on my short-term, long-term goals, my roadmap. Okay. But my biggest thing for 2022 was healing. Because I went into 2022, if some of you remember, I was very emotional when I first started my podcast because I went through a really, really hard breakup. It was hard for me, right? Because this was the first guy that I had opened up to and, had gave my heart to, became vulnerable. Since I broke up with my ex-fiance, which was a challenge too. So, when I broke up with Eric back in 2016, it was my challenge for myself was, everybody always say, oh, I'm looking for a husband. I'm looking for a husband. My challenge to myself was because I thought I was ready to be married and God told me otherwise. And we ultimately, obviously, didn't get married. And, hindsight is 2020. We both see now that was the best thing for us, My prayer from 2016 after that breakup was not that God sent me a husband, but God prepared me as a wife. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to work on me so I could be a better me. So because I want to be married, and I just felt like maybe I'm focused on the wrong thing. And so that's what I was working towards. So when I met Tariq, it was just different. I was living La Vida Loca. But, we got serious and it was amazing until it wasn't. So, I thought we was on the right track. I thought we was moving together. I mean, that in a relationship, a relationship takes more than love. Like, it really does. So just like a marriage, it takes more than love. And if you're working towards marriage, these are the things that you should be practicing. Like practice make perfect, basically. I thought things were good and then they were good till they wasn't good. And we both had baggage. We both had our ways, obviously, because again, in a relationship, it's two imperfect people coming together to form one union. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That's like all in water trying to come together to make some balsamic vinaigrette. Okay, so yeah. So ultimately, we broke up, and I walked away from that feeling like he didn't choose me. But I now feel like, for a number of reasons, which I'll get into, but I walked away from that breakup feeling like, why didn't he choose me? We've been together this long. I've showed him I'm this blah, 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 blah. Why didn't he choose me? So I was only seeing it from my perspective, obviously. And what I have learned now is that I do tend to see things more logically, and I take my emotions. My emotions aren't really involved in things that are complicated. So, and I believe I did that a lot in that relationship. Like, our biggest issue was it got to a point that I feel like it was either, what are we going to do? Are we going to swim this ride together, or are you getting off? And then I guess at some point he decided he wanted to, talk to other women, whatever. I never thought that he did anything inappropriate. And to this day, I know that I feel like he never did anything appropriate. And I'm just going to leave it at that, okay? I don't want to know if somebody out there know, don't tell me. But it was the fact that, I should be your good morning beautifuls. I should be the only one receiving those things. And no woman, you shouldn't allow another woman to disrespect me. But I wasn't seeing it from an emotional standpoint. I was seeing it as 1 + 1 is 2, and I don't like one. So if you don't remove one, I'm gonna remove myself, and that's basically what happened. And I'm gonna just be transparent. I took this whole year. I tried to convince him. I tried to, talk to him. It was really, really hard. It was hard for me to date because I would always think, like, I was so damaged, like, from a different perspective. That's what's the crazy part about it. When you think you got one thing figured out, then you're like, well, damn, I'm all broke up. So, and here I am thinking, I'm like, I'm a strong person. Like, why? Why am I allowing this one person who obviously doesn't want to be with me, cannot bring himself to communicate his feelings, chooses everything but me, but I'm still like looking to see if he called, or, I'm still sending him texts. I'm still texting him back when he decides that he wants to text me. And I had to heal again from a different perspective, And so that was really challenging for me for a lot of months. But what that really did was it opened me up to heal in an area that was unhealed inside of me. And so that unhealed place was dealing with the fact that I grew up faster than I should have. And I always felt like, because I didn't have a mother's love or a father's love, that anybody that gave me love, I had to accept whatever it was, however they, gave it back to me. And I had to make sure that I didn't do anything wrong to lose said love. So I was basically putting everybody's needs above my own, just for them to give me that feeling, that sense of feeling love, which was only temporary. This is something that I found out. So, how, and so I'm just going to, take you through the ride, how that bled over. Excuse me. So, these months are going by. I'm trying to date other people. Can't even, get into that because I'm always thinking, well, what if I get serious with this person and then, Tariq calls and he says, I was wrong, has this epiphany, right? Okay, that didn't happen. And so, I was like, that's unfair to these guys and that, great guys, just I just wasn't in a place to receive it, and I'm honest enough to where I'm not going to allow myself to get into that because I don't want to be the cause of nobody else's pain or whatever. So yeah. So I just I had a hot girl summer, and so it bled over to how it all how the bubble burst was this. So I got catfished, basically. And there was a big disagreement, and it ultimately led to me and my daughter falling out. Now, granted, a lot of me and my daughter's relationship was very toxic. But the thing was, I had the desire for it to be different, but I just didn't know how. And the reason I didn't know how is because I hadn't acknowledged that I was still dealing with unresolved hurt. So after about 3 months or so, me and my therapist is talking about it, right? And I'm like, she wants me to apologize, but I'm not apologizing to her. Like, I'm just hell bent on I'm not apologizing. I was like, I didn't even do nothing. I wasn't even near. I didn't say nothing. So why do I gotta apologize? And so after me babbling on for a few minutes, my therapist finally says, Kecia, I hear what you're saying, but you do owe her an apology. And so I goes off. Anybody that knows me knows. So I goes off. I'm like, this some bullshit. I'm paying you all this. Yeah, so I kind of went off. She sat there. She took it all in. And when I finally finished, she said, well, are you done? And I said, yeah, I'm done. And then she was like, well, now that you're done, I still stand behind what I said. And I was like, how? How is this possible? So she broke it down to me. And she said, the problem was that I was seeing it through my logical eyes, i.e., I didn't say anything to you. I didn't do anything to you. So I don't owe you an apology. But my daughter was looking at it as, you're my mom. I needed you to protect me, and you didn't. So I was still confused, right? I'm like, this is some bull crap, for real, for real. So then she was like, no, Kecia. She was like, just like she had to break it down to me why I couldn't see it that way. Because from a teenager on up, probably before becoming a teenager, I've always had to figure it out because there was nobody there. I had to figure it out. There was very little guidance in my life. So I had to figure it out. Even, when I was in my marriage, I had to figure it out for us. After my marriage, I was the parent. I was the provider. I had to figure it out. So it was like that whole emotional thinking went away because I had to figure it out. I had to make it happen. How was I going to make it happen in the least amount of time, with the least amount of money, with the least amount of angst? How was I going to make it happen? And that's what she said to me. She said, you're thinking like that when all she wanted you to do was be her mama. And I'm like, I was being her mom. I don't understand how y'all figuring I was being her mom. Because I'm like, and then she said to me, she said, do you equate love with money? That shit hurt my feelings. Like, oh God, that hurt my feelings because she broke it down. She was like, you're sitting here saying, well, I did this and I did that. But that's all financial. When did you hug her? When did you kiss her? When did you tell her you love her? I'm like, what? I tell her that all the time. But she's like, no. To her, she's looking at it as she's calling you, wanting you to, nurture her. And you're just thinking, how can I figure this problem out? And I'm like, because that's what I'm supposed to do as the mother. And she had to remind me that it's more important to show them love and comfort than any amount of money can do. And I was like, damn, I fucked that up. I mean, I did. Like, I was wrong. And the crazy thing is, my son and daughter has been telling me this for years. My god brother used to tell me this a long time ago, for years. Like, that I needed to get some therapy and I needed to deal with feeling like I always had to fix things. Excuse me. But I was like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So it ain't nothing wrong with me, especially in the military. I was a leader. So a problem arises because that's basically what you're doing. Excuse me. So after I had my come to Jesus with my therapist, and she was like, because you don't respond out of empathy when there's a problem, it comes off as you're harsh, you're aggressive. But I'm really not. I'm the nicest person around. So, I listened to her, I listened to everything she was saying. She broke it down to me from the perspective of my daughter. And obviously, I don't want my child to feel like that because I was thinking what I was doing was going to give her that security. But that's not how that was flowing, okay? That wasn't flowing like that. And I had to acknowledge that I was wrong, that I fucked it up as the mama. I fucked it up. My way of making it right was not the way she needed me to parent her, And so, fast forward on, I had my little come to Jesus. And so when I got off the phone with her, right, I'm like, this lady don't know me from a can of paint. She's taking all my damn money. She don't even know me. She don't just talk about me like this to my face, right? So I went around and I started asking people that know me, like, hey, you think I'm mean? And can you believe that a lot of people said that they thought I was mean? That shit hurt my feelings. I was very emotional because I don't want to give that off. Like, in a nutshell, walking away from me, people had the response of, look, Kecia don't take no shit, but she's sweet. I would rather somebody say, oh, Kecia's sweet, but she don't take no shit. I don't want you to say the first thing you say about me is, Kecia don't take no shit. No, I want you to say I'm sweet. I think I'm the sweetest person around. But obviously I'm not, okay? So I am working on that. That is one of my biggest things to work on for 2023 is to be more openly empathetic, to be, especially to my children. And I guess my children got the brunt of it because it was just the three of us, and I want them to be successful. So it's like, I was successful, just do what I did, but they're not me. I know, oh, it's me. As a parent, you are constantly learning. So that was a really big thing. So it kind of all flowed in, and so I was able to see a lot of mistakes that I made with Tariq after he and I broke up because I never really gave him, like, I just did it. I just was like, 1 + 1 is 2. So that's it. You're not going to do this. You're going to continue to do this. So I'm out. And that was it, knowing how he was, and I could have been. I'm not going to say that I should have been. I could have been a little bit more understanding. Not to say that we would have stayed together, but I could have just been more, sensitive on how I was dealing with it versus so abrupt. So, that's it. Period. It's done. Now, Don't get it twisted. There are some relationships that I have walked away from in 2022 that needed that. Okay? I done took this shit for long enough. I ain't finna do this with you no more. Because I believe in meeting people where they are, you know? And I have, taken a lot of shit from some people. And this was the year where I was like, you're not gonna keep treating me like the redheaded stepkid. And I'm giving you 100% up in this relationship. So I walked away from him, You hurt me. You're not gonna acknowledge that you hurt me. And you're gonna try to find everything wrong with me versus saying, okay, I fucked up. So this is not a relationship I want to be a part of. So those that I walked away from, I stand behind. I stand, solid behind those because, those were things that led up. It was a lot. But with certain things, especially with my daughter, I just had to say, like I fucked up, and I did. I fucked it up. Not intentionally, and it's not like, it was an intentional fuck up. It obviously wasn't. Because you want the best for your kids. But sometimes as a parent, we don't always get it right. And, sometimes we have to be humble enough to, say we're sorry, and show them the love that they need, that they want, just like the love languages. It's not just about romantic relationships, And so my daughter's love language, which she has recently told me, is words of affirmation. She needs physical touch, which is something that I have to work on because, I don't know. I just don't like to be touched like that. Like, if I'm in a romantic relationship, that's different because that's like a different kind of touch. But like outside of that, like I don't need all of that. Like, like you ain't got to be on me and all of it. Like you need a hug and a kiss every 5 minutes. Like, goddamn, girl. I make the sacrifice for my granddaughter because she's very loving, but so I'm working on that. And ultimately that's just gonna make me a better me and a better parent because it's not just like my unruly ways affecting me all the way around, not just as a parent. So I believe that, me acknowledging that and seeing what I need to do better is going to help me in the long run. So I'm willing to take that task to be a better me. And yeah. So my relationship with my daughter, so it all kind of ran into each other. It's like a little river, just keep on flowing. But when it comes to relationships, I have decided that I am still asking God to make me a mate, a helpmate. A part of me feels like, part of me feels like I could be single forever. And that's okay. Now, I'm okay with that because God has decided that for me. It's not that I have decided it for myself. Or he could send me someone, that is going to be able to love me and to support me, and that's going to uplift me and be the king of my house, be my man, But until then, I'm going to just continue to work on me, and just live like I am. I'm just going to wait on God. Like, I feel like this move to Maryland was really based off of God saying go. So I feel like if I could put my trust in him completely for that, and look how amazing that turned out, then I should be able to make a few sacrifices to put my trust in him for this. And just wait and see what he got in store for me. So that's what I'm going to do, Yes, I have seen a couple of people, and one guy in particular that, I mean, if I could, we would, but we can't, so I'm not. And I do care about him, but yeah. So that's that on the healing part. So I think that we got a lot of healing that we was not expecting, because to us, we were already healed in all those places, but obviously not. Um, Another thing that was supposed to happen, wrote my journal. Was a success on that to some degree, but the lessons were learned. And I have checked off everything on my short and long term list. My last thing will be December 29th. Can you believe that? Wow. Now let's talk about what did happen. So I finally tapped into my real healing. Well, I'm not say real healing like the other ones was fake, but I would say real for me because I was thinking it was A when it turned out to be W. That's what I mean. Completed my journal and I'm working on my next 2 books now. So that is great. And again, I have checked off everything on my short and long term path, except for one thing, which will be done before this year's out. And the major accomplishment that happened was I really learned who I am and what I want. I learned about boundaries and how important they are. Like, boundaries don't have to be a bad thing. I think when we think about boundaries, a lot of times we think like you're trying to stop somebody from moving forward but it's not that. Boundaries are healthy in any and all relationships because at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you, unless you have small kids. Okay. Now you got small kids, you got to do what's best for them and then you. But like my girlfriend, she's like, I really don't like people. And I used to feel that way, like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to people today. But I had to change my mindset because at that point, outside people was controlling how I felt and how the energy. They was controlling that for me. So I had to change that. I had to make it where I was back in control of my atmosphere, my energy, my bubble. Okay. So, and it doesn't have to be a harsh thing. See, I'm working on my sensitive side. So basically is this, you got to meet people where they are. Like at the end of the day, if somebody ticks you off 9 times out of 10, they are totally not worried about it after it happens. Totally not. So why are you? It happened. It's over. You just have to decide, okay, this is who this person is. I'm going to meet them where they are. And then that's it. I'm not taking them no further. I think a lot of times we set ourselves up because we decide, oh, but they didn't mean it. Oh, they really are a good person. Oh, they could do better. That's them, girl. That is not, child, that is not your problem. Let them show you these things before you just start expecting. Because some people that's not going on in their mind. It's not. And so you taking on an expectation that's not there. That's the expectation you done put on that person. Stop. Meet that person where they are. Either you're going to decide to take them with you or you're going to leave them there. And then if you want to deal with them, you come on back to that stop and you deal with them and then you move on. But you have to meet people where they are. Everybody can't go with you. It's just fact of the matter. Everybody can't go with you. And it's okay to walk away with no hard feelings. It is okay. People are who they are. And just like I want people to respect me for who I am, I have to be able to respect people for who they are. Simple as that. Meet them where they are. So let's talk about 2023, baby. 2023. So I have already created my roadmap. It's on my refrigerator. Yes, it is. Obviously, I am absolutely going to continue therapy. Because it's like, man, when things come up, sometimes I feel like, well, damn, I thought I was over that hurdle. But, sometimes we repressed a lot of things. And it, my daughter and my therapist taught me that too. And certain things trigger you. And you don't know it until it happens. Then you have to figure out, how do I respond when it happens? That's the damn kicker right there. My biggest thing, one of my biggest things in 2023 is breaking generational foundations that have already been laid. They're just certain things that I don't want to take into 2023. Like me and my daughter was talking, and my son, we've had this conversation about, I don't have any brothers and sisters. So Dominique and Dante don't have no aunts and uncles, like even on their father's side. So it's like, it's just us. And we was just talking about, our family so small, and we was talking about other parts of our, from our extended family and how they do things. She's like, oh, they get together and, on Christmas, they set everything aside and they get together and they laugh and they have so much fun. I said, but that's just a facade. Like, that's one day. That's one 24-hour period. Because after that 24-hour period, then that's when the drama starts. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put on for one 24-hour period and then everything. No, I want us to have a good time and then wake up the next day and it's still good. And the next day and it's still good. Not, I need money because I spent money that I didn't have for us to eat and now my lights, but I don't want that. Like, let's just live where we are and do what makes us happy in that moment. That's it. Like, I want it to be if we laugh and joke and have a good time on Christmas, the day after Christmas, it's that same energy. New Year's is that same energy. So we have to change certain things. We can't keep repeating the same bad habits. Can't be spending up all your rent money for Christmas, everybody having a good time on Christmas, and then after Christmas, you robbing Peter to pay Paul, or you call, like, I don't want that. So it is up to me, in my opinion. I have taken the mantle that I want to create new foundations for my children and my grandchildren and my grandchildren's children, and et cetera, et cetera. I want to create jobs in my community, where I am now. I want to build a foundation that's going to support the schools and support the shelters. Like, this is what I want to do. It's not about building wealth to have shiny things. It's about building wealth to create those foundations for other people. So that's the biggest thing. Because like Beyonce say, you ain't gonna break my soul. You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. It's not gonna happen because I'm gonna keep moving forward. And I'm gonna live in a way that's gonna encourage these changes. And I'm gonna put me first. Continue to do that. It was hard at first for a lot of people that I'm close to the deal to accept that my mindset has changed and I'm going to do what makes Kecia happy first. That's what I'm going to do first. So if I don't want to go, if I can't go with you at 5, I can go with you at 7 and you can't wait, then oh well, we ain't going. You know what I mean? And my daughter did that this weekend, and she was honest. She said it kind of hurt her feelings the way her friend responded to her, but she knew she did what was right. And at the end of the day, like I told her, it'll get easier and easier because they'll all start to fall off and they'll stop asking you to do stuff because they already know how you're going to respond. So listen, I have really fallen in love with me. You hear me? So I'm going to continue to put me first. I am no longer in a position to where I want to compromise my peace and happiness just to have people around me or just to have people in my life. Because just like God removed one, he may put another one. Or he may just say, I'm just making this circle smaller and smaller. These are the only people that you need in your circle. Got to think about it like that. And of course, love is no longer on my roadmap of life. Yeah. So I'm just gonna do what God wants me to do when it comes to love. That's it. That is it. I'm no longer looking, waiting, or anything like that. I just want to make me a better me. So if God decides that he wants to give me a husband before I die, if he gives me a husband before I die, that I am the best wife I can be. Or a girlfriend, you got to start somewhere, right? I hate the word girlfriend, companion, old lady. I could be somebody, old lady, but I got to be the best old lady for them. So I'm just allowing God to make me a great old lady. So, lastly, I would tell you, protect your space, right? Protect your space, bro. Be selfish with your space. Be selfish with your peace and your happiness. Be selfish with it. It's yours. You are in control of how you allow people to make you feel. You control that. So protect your space, protect your space. Be happy in what you have and who you are. And Lord knows, don't try to be something that you're not. If there's something that you want to be, or there's a goal or something, you got to believe just like I believe you can do it. You have to believe that. You have to believe that. And then you can go out there and you find the resources and you do what it is that you want to do. And that needs to be on your roadmap for 2023. What about you? What is it that you want to do for you? Forget the naysayers, forget the gossipers, forget all of that. Forget it. Do what you want to do. So now that I have shared all my dirty laundry of 2023, I would encourage each of you to just take a self-evaluation, take inventory. Look back from each month, January, February, and say, I could have done this, or I could have done this. Why didn't I do that? Do I want to do that still? How can I make that happen? Like, grow. And it don't have to be major things, like just little things you want to do. I want to go indoor skydiving. I want to go skydiving. I didn't do that this year. I'm going to add it for next year. Like, just the little things. These books that I'm writing, they are important to me. Yes, and I think this year, the reason why these books aren't done is because I needed to experience what I experienced this year to have the content for those books. And so it's just the little things. Am I trying to be no, I write because I want to have something tangible to help people get through experiences or similar experiences that I went through. Because I can't talk to everybody all the time, even though I could, but you know what I mean. So on that note, you will not be seeing my face, but you can always go back and watch my videos. You can always do that. I hope you guys are following me on social media. I love to put crazy stuff up, especially on my TikTok. I am getting this TikTok thing down, okay? I be doing a little TikTok. I got to learn the dances, though. I dances. I did the Grinch TikTok today. Let me tell you, I'm going to get TikTok famous before I get anybody else famous. But I just want to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate at this time of year. I wish you much joy, much love, much peace, and I will see you guys in 2023. Until that note, love you always and smooches.